I'm going to hand over to Teresa.
Thank you very much, Helen. Welcome, everybody. This, like everything in the last 9 months, the whole Zoom presentation thing is very new to me, but what fun this is. And the fact that you can now exercise in your own house and you don't have to bust a gut to get to the gym for the time the class starts has just been so much less stressful for me, I have to say. It's been great. I'm really delighted to introduce Nick Hewett, who is one of the long-standing trainers at Whitecalm. Some of you might remember that we did a session a few weeks ago on meditation and relaxation from Whitecalm also. Whitecalm has formed an association with the Institute and are offering a beneficial rate to members that want to join. And I have to say, it's a fraction of what I used to pay my gym that used to cause me stress when I had to get there for a certain time for class. So it really is a great way to address your fitness and all sorts of other things. Whitecalm is holistic, so it brings a lot of other things to your house and your home through Zoom and interactive sessions. And I'll tell you a bit more about it, and I'll try and share my screen after the session and see if we can learn a bit more, because it seems every time I log on to Whitecalm they're doing something else that's exciting, including now financial well-being, because that causes us stress too. So anything that causes us stress, it seems Whitecalm well-being is addressing. So I won't waste any more time, because I know Nick is champing at the bit, and so am I, to move around a bit, because I sit a lot at this desk in front of this computer. So welcome everybody, and here's Nick.
Okay. Hi, hope we're all doing well. It's freezing in this gym this morning, so I'm looking forward to getting to do a little bit of movement with you guys. First of all, though, what I wanted to kind of chat to you guys about is movement itself, and really the kind of the importance and benefits of that movement. Now, again, if you do get questions as we go through or anything like that, obviously pop them in the chat, and we can actually come back to those sort of towards the end. Anyone that kind of catches there that you want to have a chat about. So first of all, first kind of question out there really is, how many hours do you think you are sat per day? I know from myself, day-to-day job, and especially with a lot of the changes that have taken place from the workplace moving into kind of the home, it's very easy to kind of go from bed to chair, sit down all day, to sofa, to watch TV in the evening, back to bed. And it's very, very easy for that cycle to become kind of apparent, and Monday to Friday, that becomes kind of like your common theme. So we really want to think of ways in which we can incorporate a bit more movement. And it comes to the office as well, when we can, get back into that workstation, or even when we're working from home. And we want to try and build movement into our normal kind of daily lives. Key thing with anything, any changes that you want to make, whether it's kind of movement wise, whether it's nutrition or anything like that, is to try and create it as a habit. And when we have a habit, it becomes a lot easier to then maintain. And awareness changes behavior. So it's really important to be aware of whether it's the positive or also the negative aspects of your life, and be aware of those. And that will then encourage you to change and create new behaviors. Changes don't need to be massive, and that's the thing. I'm not kind of saying, right, every 5 minutes get down and do 20 burpees and then back up and off you go. Yeah, especially if if you're in the industry where it's sort of suited up and things like that. There's no need to kind of ripping that off like Superman, down, do your press ups, back up again. It can just be small things. It could be simple things like just having, rather than your massive bottles of water by your desk, smaller bottles of water. That will encourage you then more regularly to get up, go and fill it up again. Little movements like that could be nice, simple, easy tips that you can kind of do. So like I say, it doesn't need to be those big changes, just something very, very simple. Quite often people say, sitting on the floor is good for you. Okay? there's no real benefit for sitting on the floor. It's just uncomfy. So by sitting on the floor, you end up moving more to get probably a little bit more comfortable. So think about also your workstations. Workstations are a key kind of point. Are you sat down typing? Have you got the level right of your workstation, so you're keeping that head up, or are you getting that kind of text neck as you're working all day? Can you stand at your workstation? I know I often try and work on my breakfast bar at home because it's slightly higher than the table, so I know I can stand and crack on with my work that way. Balls, bit balls, things like these. These are the sorts of things that people generally have around the house, normally deflated in the cupboard somewhere collecting dust. But if you've got these type of things in, you know, using that as your chair is a key good point. So just simply sitting there creates good posture. Most of the time, people don't sit still. They move, they roll, they rock backwards and forwards. If you're feeling jazzy, you have a little bounce. Yeah. So all those type of things massively then just encourage any kind of movement to take place.
Nick, could I just say that
yes.
when I have got a bad back, I sit on my fitness ball, and it's the only thing that actually alleviates it, because you are moving and you tilt your pelvis in the right position, and so it's good if you actually have got any back problems, because it gives you a better seating position than a chair.
Absolutely, because again, one of the main things when you're sitting on that chair is generally you use that back support. So all of the muscles, the core muscles, the lower back become deactivated. You don't utilize them, you don't use them. So quite often then when you go to do anything, even if it's, I know myself now, you can tell it, I think it's a sign of getting old. When you pick anything up that's low, I make a noise now. I go, I never used to do that. But now I seem to make a noise. But even by doing little things like that, that's where people tweak their backs, because that whole kind of core engagement isn't taking place because they're not utilising it. They're relying on the back support of the chair. You notice how often do people lay on or sit on the couch and lean back and let that weight be taken off? So by using something like that, it just encourages that. You haven't got those, just sit towards the front of your chair, so you're not using that back support quite so much. So really, really big, simple things that you can probably just utilise sort of straight away. What about tech? Do people use tech throughout the day? I know that the smartwatches now become a massive kind of influence. How often do they buzz you to say, whoosh, you need to do more steps? Yeah, I know mine does at 10 to every hour. It gives me a little buzz if I'm not hit a step target. And again, it's just making that awareness of, okay, let's get this moving. It makes you aware that you have actually been sat for quite a while. Because sometimes you can be tapping away on emails, phone call comes in, something else comes in, and suddenly you look and you think, oh, it's lunchtime already. A couple of hours have passed, you know, and you've just not moved. So setting little timers is also another really good tip that you can use. Even if it's just every half an hour, it will just remind you and go, okay, let's do something. Whether it's you go and make yourself a cup of tea, that's getting yourself moving, or you just run up and down the stairs a couple of times, whatever it might be. It could be anything. A little stretch would be really, really good and beneficial. And it just keeps you thinking about movement. So then why? Why do we want to move? What benefit is it? So we mentioned a couple there about kind of keeping that core and lower back all nice and strong. Main kind of ones we're looking at is things called synovial fluid. That sounds good, but it's basically like your natural WD-40. It's what really kind of loosens up and gets the joints moving. Yeah, and you know, always sounds a bit dodgy when you say this, but how many people wake up stiff in the morning? Not necessarily for the right reasons, but we are looking at, you know, trying to keep those joints nice and mobile. So in the mornings, a little bit of movement around the joints, really good. It increases that synovial fluid into the joints. So for the rest of the day, you're able to move a little bit more easier. So again, one main benefit there. Also helps keep the muscles more elastic. So the muscles are known, they want to move. You know, if they're coiled up short all the time, they're going to be much more prone to any kind of injury. You know, if you find that, even if you just think late for a bus, or you've got to run to the train and you go for a little sprint, you're much more likely just to pull those muscles or feel it a lot more later on in the day. Exercise itself, movement, is massively good for increasing endorphins. Yeah, endorphins help us feel good, and they help kind of rejuvenate and generate the brain function. So not only are you going to feel good about the day, your proactivity throughout the day, daily tasks, work, and everything like that is just massively heightened. It increases what's called serotonin within the brain. Now, a lot of people probably heard of serotonin. It's mostly linked to depression. People think of it a lot more with regards to depression. And depression on a chemical level is simply just lack of serotonin. So in theory, we can increase that serotonin, we feel good. And when you feel good, you know, we're talking about, you wake up, you look in the mirror and you're like, yeah, here I am, I'm ready to go. Yeah, that's what we want with good serotonin levels. We want to feel good about ourselves. Movement and exercise will help do that. Yeah, it's not the only answer, but it will help towards it. Generally, if you find you've got low self-esteem or low serotonin levels, you generally find you crave more as well. So, and you would crave those kind of starchy foods, salty foods, your breads, your pastas and things like that. So again, the side effect from that is, if I'm sat at my desk all day, what am I going to be reaching for? I'm going to be reaching for and craving those breads, those sandwiches, those crisps, or whatever it might be. So again, by getting some movement in, getting some exercise in, it's going to actually help reduce all of those cravings that are going to take place. So again, big benefit from it. Not to mention all the other kind of benefits you get for risk of reducing things like obesity, heart conditions from movement, keeping that blood flow around the body, getting that blood to all those working muscles. It's just going to be a massive benefit. Helps reduce the risk of diabetes. Again, any kind of mobility issues, osteoporosis, all those type of things are going to be a big bonus. Not to mention, not just health of the body, but health of the brain as well. Mental health, which is actually becoming massively big awareness now of the mental health side of it. And when we're looking at health in general, we tend now to look at physical health as well as mental health. So actually, by increasing the mental health awareness is a big part. And exercise can do that, especially if you're able to exercise with somebody else, other people. So these kind of group training sessions as well are really good. They'll book in the time, you meet up with somebody, whether it's online, whether it's in a park, wherever it might be, and you get that communication going. And I know what it's like for people now, especially working from home. In an office, you just shout across the room at somebody, yeah, to get their attention. Working from home, though, it's very isolated. It can be very isolated. So getting the group dynamic, even if it is something like this, which is brilliant, get together at lunchtime, 5-10 minutes, let's do a little bit of something, and then bam, off we go the rest of the day. They're really great ways to kind of get the mindset working, get the body moving, and start to feel really good. Hopefully feel good, or even feel even better. We've got anyone that wants to jump in with anything? Did you guys get any questions that were pinging through or anything like that?
We've had Nick, comments about people are standing up at home already. They, as you were saying about how long we sit down for, we got messages saying that's it. I've realised how long I've been sat down for while I do this webinar. So yeah, already we're seeing an impact on what people are doing. So fantastic. Yeah, they're just taking in the advice and acting on it immediately, which is all we can ask for.
Good. And again, that's kind of key, because it only needs to be small changes, you know. And I'm not saying stand up all day, but your feet will be killing you by the end of it. You know, do kind of, you know, have a sit down. I don't want to come back and you guys doing another one now, telling you guys to sit down now for a bit of time. Do have a sit down as well. But those small habits, and like I said at the start, awareness changes behaviour. Just being aware of something can create that kind of positive change. So good. I'm glad that it's got people kind of stood up a little bit already. Is there anything else that kind of come in? Do feel free to kind of chuck in any questions.
I am asking them to. This group tend to like to put their questions at the end, but we will come back. I've got one for you, just based on what you're saying. There was a craze for a while, and I know some people who still do it, around having treadmill desks, you know, where they treadmill while they. What are your thoughts on that? Because for me, it always seemed like it was an accident waiting to happen, but too distracted. But I thought, while we have an expert on it, it'd be a good question to ask.
Yeah, well, you know, if you're able to get one of those, and there's no harm in it. I struggle enough just typing, let alone trying to walk at the same time. So I don't know about you, that would be no good for me. I'd be like bashing keys. It'd take me forever to type anything.
Well, that's the thing. I always worry about falling off when I'm really focused on running on a treadmill. I was trying to do it and type and read. I don't. I wonder if anyone else on the call today or on the session today has. Maybe they can pop it in the comments. But.
Yeah, I don't know. I think something like that. If you're going to do it, film it, because it will be £250 on You've Been Framed. So go for it.
Can I just ask, Nick, is it true that if you strengthen your core stomach muscles, is that an extra support for your back? Is that going to help your back?
Okay, well, muscles always work in pairs. Yeah, so muscles always work in pairs. So if one muscle contracts, the other one has to relax. So to be honest, if you want to strengthen your back, you're better off doing back strengthening muscle exercises. Yeah, that's going to help do it. But it's certainly going to help support. So if you've got, if I've got, I've used a band just to kind of demonstrate it. Bear with me. So let's say I've got a kind of band there. If that's my abdominal kind of muscles. Now, a lot of people will do things like ab crunches, and they'll do them all day long. For some reason, it's one of those things that the exercise you could do, I'll try and do 100. But you wouldn't try and do 100 of anything else. It's just abdominals. It seems strange. But what kind of happens is they keep doing those abdominal muscles there. The abdominals then become tight. Yeah. So they become tight. And because they're not doing 100 back extension exercises, the front muscles become what's called overactive. So they become tight, and the back muscles become underactive, which means they get that posture come on, where that muscle there becomes shorter and the back one becomes longer. Yeah. So you end up with really bad posture. So it's always key, that's what I would say, always key to balance out your exercises. So if I'm doing one muscle that way, I'm then doing the opposite muscle backwards that way. Does that make sense?
That does. Yes, it's really interesting, that is. We've had a question, and it links actually to what you were talking about. Lara would like to know what the best exercise is for the back.
For the back?
Yeah.
If you're looking at lower back, it's basically anything that is extending the back up. So if I was, for example, it depends on the equipment that you've got. If you're going with no equipment, then just laying down on my front, hands at the side of the head, and back extensions coming up there are really good. If you've got, even if you go something like the bull, you can do the same again. So with that bull coming over, back extension coming up. If you find you've got weights and you're able to do weight on the back and then coming forward and standing up, again, same kind of thing. There's many that you can do, but it's all about the same movement. It's extension of the back is what you're wanting to do.
Excellent, thank you.
Good. I like the questions. I like the questions. They keep me on my toes. Right.
So here's one more then before on. And it's around DOMS. It's around, if we're going to start getting active, what do we do about delayed onset muscle soreness, which is a problem? Lara says, thanks for that answer. But what about that soreness that we get for those of us who don't do weight exercises as often as we should and then feel it and it puts us off doing it again?
Yeah. So again, it's all about balance. So when people, I kind of give you an overview, when people are quite often new to exercise, and you see this a lot in, say, January, where everyone hits the gym, everyone hits the gym, and what they go is they go, right, I'm going to get fit this year, I'm going to hit the gym, and they're in the gym 5-6 days a week, and they just basically go, hell for leather, all or nothing, I'm going to do it. Now what happens with that, they just overwork the body, so they get this DOMS, so this delayed onset of muscular soreness. Normally kicks in anywhere between 12 and 72 hours after exercise, after training. Some people it's the next day, some people they feel it's like 2 or 3 days later. So what that happens is they hit it, 6 days a week for the first couple of weeks, then they start getting tired and sore and almost hit this overtraining. And what happens then is they then go, oh, I'm going to leave it tonight, I'll go tomorrow. So they end up missing a day. Then they go again, and then they feel sore again, they're tired, so they missed another couple of days. And the next thing you know, they haven't been within a week. And then they're like, oh, I'll start back Monday, because we can only ever start anything on a Monday. So they start back Monday, but then Monday comes and there's something else happens and they don't do it, and they think, oh, I'll leave it till next week. And then next thing you know, it's a month and they've not gone, and then it's March and they're cancelling their memberships, and the gyms are quiet again. So it's the general kind of thing. So it's always kind of key to do. It's why it's really good to kind of speak with someone, speak with a professional, speak with a PT or trainer, because they'll put a proper plan together in place for you that's really linked for you, so that you manage your time well. So you might only start with once or twice a week in a gym or training. And then we'll build, and then you'll build. As your fitness progresses, you build. I always think of PTs as being like the mechanics for the body. So I don't know anything about my car, so I wouldn't try and fix it on my own. I would go to a mechanic, and it should be the same really with the body as well. Go to someone who knows about it, whatever area it is, and they'll put a good plan together that's going to give you a structure. So these DOMs, they don't kick in so much. Or they're managed. They give you recovery time, which is key. But you'll always get DOMs when you elicit change. So whether you're putting weights up or anything like that, you're now working the muscles a lot more than they were before. And we find that we get. I'll just waffle. So just stop me if I'm waffling. Sorry. You find that you get kind of your base level. So your base level becomes here. We then elicit a change, so we increase weight or we increase days or something like that, and then our performance will drop slightly as it's harder. And then what will happen is we get that adaptation and we'll go up, and then we'll create a new kind of base level. So that's kind of what should be happening. But what happens often is they give too much change, it drops too often, and it drops and drops and drops.
So for us then, so the good mindset then is to have it that a little bit of DOMS is a good thing, because we're actually challenging ourselves, but not too much.
Absolutely.
Clarity will stop the DOMS happening as much, because we're using those muscle groups and they're not as stressed.
That's it. That's it. You don't want, the last thing you want to do is not be able to move for 2 or 3 days after a workout. Well, there's just no point, there's no point. So a little bit of change and things as you go is good. And you'll get that, but manageable.
Brilliant. So what can we do in our offices and our home offices and that will help us not sit down all the time?
So again, a few of those kind of tips we talked about before, just move more, even if it's going to photocopy, or even if it's going to get yourself a cup of tea or anything like that. Set timers is always the key kind of advice there, just to remind you every half an hour that, okay, I've been sat down for half an hour now, let's get moving, let's do something. And again, thinking about your workstations is always a key kind of point to get that movement going. Do we want to do some moving?
Yeah, let's do it. And everybody, come on, who's going to be brave and put their cameras on?
I'll leave mine on. I might mute though, because
I'm
making
gonna
noise too.
Yeah, get rid of the sound effects. So what I basically put together is just a very short kind of little training session, I guess, just to get the heart rate going a little bit, get moving a little bit more. We'll do a little bit of mobility to just get some basic movements going on. I've created it so you don't need a great deal of space. Okay, so you should just be able to do it in the area that you've got, in your workstation or anything like that. And one of them is, there are actually a couple of combinations of some of the classes I actually teach on Whitecalm. So one which is a boxing based workout and one which is a Tabata based workout. And I'll kind of explain both those as we go. So, are we feeling ready? I'll give you a thumbs up. I'm assuming I've got some thumbs up back, but we'll kind of see. This is where probably most people go and get themselves a coffee or something like that and have it on in the background. But hopefully not. We'll get going with it. So we're going to do a little bit of boxing first of all. Now, you know, obviously I don't tell people to imagine their boss when they're doing their kind of boxing, just get a little bit more kind of aggression out of them. But again, real good kind of de-stressor. So we're going to start off. You're going to start with one foot in front of the other. You're going to have your guard up so you're ready to go. And we're just going to do a minute of punching. And I'll tell you what we're going to do as we go. So just literally forward and back with those arms. Make sure you are a decent distance away from your screen. Don't want anyone hitting those over. Yeah, so go for it. Just a nice steady pace first of all. Okay, and we're going to get you guys to kind of speed it up as we go. But again, this sort of thing, go really simple. If anyone had any mobility issues, this is even a good one to do sitting down if you wanted to. So that's 15 seconds gone. We're going for just a minute, okay? 25 seconds. So 5 more seconds, we're going to get the feet involved. So you're going to do little steps as well. Go for it. So little steps with the feet at the same time of doing those arms. Good. 20 seconds left. Excellent. Keep that going. Nice little steps. Speed it up. Last 10 seconds. Go as quick as you can. Really big steps. Arms forward and back. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And time it there. Good. So again, hopefully you've got whole body working now a little bit. Heart rate go up a bit. Yeah. So we're starting to get that heart rate, get that blood around the body. Just from there then, let's just take those arms up. Keep the legs nice and straight. And then from there, rock down to the side and then rotate. Round the hips and back up to the other side. And back round. Good. Back up. So again, just nice bit of movement. Rock that back round. And back the other way, last time. And all these type of things you could do, that boxing one, while you're waiting for the kettle to click. Yeah, just to get a bit of movement. Let's take those arms up. And we're going to do a little squat down and back up. Squat down and back up. Yeah, just swing those arms, loosen off those hips. Good. Good, good, good. Let's do 3 more. So 1, 2, and 3. Good. Okay, so what we've done there is we've got a bit of the heart rate going. We've loosened up those joints a little bit. What we're now going to do is a quick Tabata. Now, a Tabata, it's not a type of bread. It's 4 minutes worth of work. Okay? We're going to do 4 exercises, 20 seconds of each exercise with 10 seconds recovery. Okay, so we do 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds not. And we do that 8 times, so that's 4 minutes in total. Okay, so our first exercise is going to be our squats. So we're going to start here, we squat down and back up. Okay, squat down and back up. If you've got a chair, and you're not quite sure about your squats, put your chair just behind you, sit down, just kiss the chair with your bum and stand back up again. Yeah? So are we ready? 20 seconds. 3, 2, 1, go for it. So again, just squats down. So again, 4 minutes this workout is, which is exactly the same amount of time as an advert break. So if you're watching telly or anything like that, and the adverts come on, bam, you can do a little exercise. And stop it there. That's 20 seconds done. 10 seconds. Our next one, star jumps. So we're coming in and out. Ready? Go for it. That's it. Good. Good one for the coordination, this as well. So it gets that brain working. 10 seconds to go. Again, if it starts getting tough, just slow it down a bit. And time. Good. Relax it there. Our next one we're going to do is a lunge. So we'll just do a reverse lunge. So taking one leg back, dropping that back knee to the ground, standing up and changing legs. Okay? Go for it. So you just keep that hand up or hands out for balance. And again, nice and steady pace. You can always take your feet a little bit wider. That helps. Just 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time it there. And then our last one, number 4. We're back to that boxing. So we're going to go from here. Nice square stance. Boxing backwards and forwards. Go for it. That's it. Good. Good. You'll be picturing me at the end of this. Go, go, go. That's it. Keep it working. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And time. We've got one more round to go. So we're back to our squats. Are we ready? Go for it. So now you're in the hang of it, you can try and speed these up a little bit. Try and get a few more in within the 20 seconds. Just 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Time it there. Good. Next one. Do you remember what they were? Star jumps. Are we ready? Go for it. That's it. Good. Excellent. Good stuff. Keep that going. 5 more seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Relax it there. Next one, lunges. You've got 10 seconds. You've got 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. Go. Big lunge back. That's it. Good. That back knee just touches the floor. That's okay. That's okay. Just make sure it's not hitting down hard. 5 seconds. Get a couple more in on each leg. 3, 2, 1, and time. Then we've got one more, which is our last one. Boxing to finish off. Are we ready? Go for it. Let's get those feet going as well. Little steps with those feet. Yeah. Good. Brilliant. Lots of little steps. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and time. Whew. How are we feeling? Are we nice and warm? Got everyone moving? Brilliant. Brilliant. So let's just do a final last little stretch. Again, just to encourage that movement, those joints, okay? So it'll be really sort of simple. Last couple. So from there, again, let's just take those hands, take them back as far as you can go. Yeah, and then from there, just bend from the hips, come back as far as you can go. Just there and back. Bring those arms down, palms facing behind you, and then again, just extend those arms up behind. Try and keep that head up, looking forward as you go. Good. And from there, come back again, Last one there. And again, bringing that back, palms facing behind and just stretch. Back there. Good. And then from there, last one, do your best pee on the fork impression. And then from there, we're twisting. Come up onto the toes. Just get a really good twist and bit of rotation across your back. Good. 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Excellent. Job done. Good work. Well done. Bit of movement. 101.
I enjoyed that. Thank you very much.
Good.
Wait, the chat's gone very quiet, which means they must all have been doing it with us.
Done it.
But everybody
doing something else. Yeah.
tried to turn their videos on. But me and Teresa did it. So Catherine, that was great. Thank you. And Tabata's really good. I think that was a really interesting point you made, Nick. I've never thought about the fact that you could do that in a break.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. TV advert, you know, especially if you are, let's say, sat at home most of the evening, as people do in front of the telly, advert breaks are a great time. They're always about 4 minutes long. Even if you pick an exercise or every day of the week. So if let's say, for example, today we do squats. So every advert break, you are doing squats for the whole time of that advert break. By the course of the evening, you're going to get quite a lot in there. You know, the next day you could do some press-ups or some dips or something like that, you know, and change them around that way. So yeah, really good. Just get something else happening.
We've got some great comments coming in, Nick. People love that. Said it was great bite size. And I think that's the wonderful thing about Tabata, isn't it? It can be really bite size.
Yeah.
Talking of bites, Matt has said that he really liked the stretching. It's now time for a chocolate biscuit.
Yeah,
so there you
Best
go.
stretch for that. Stretch across, get it, dunk it, eat it.
There you go. You can incorporate the whole workout can be incorporated into your break. And we've had a message from Jason saying, how do we get some more of this? And I think Teresa's going to run through that in a moment around Whitecalm. Does anyone else have any questions for Matt as well while we've got him? If there's any more sort of fitness questions, anything that, you know, while you've got an expert here, you would like to ask? So it's always, oh yes, so Lara says, what is the benefit of doing bicycle kick in the air, as it were? So I think that might be the abs thing, isn't it, when you're doing those
laying on the ground, kind of cycling feet.
Yeah,
they're good for core activation, so good for abdominal activation. They're actually really good for getting mobility within the hips as well, because you're actually getting movement in and out with the hips and the knees and the ankles. So again, you get a good bit of movement in there. So you've got great benefits from there.
Can I ask, so what would be what do you think is the best all over exercise that someone can do that works most of your body? What's your favorite? That's
a really kind of tough one. Tough one to answer. If I was going to go for the best all over exercise, it would be one of the kind of Olympic lifts, which is kind of like the clean and jerk, where you kind of got a bar, you're lifting up, catching, pushing up, because it just does everything. It does strength, balance, mobility, coordination, everything there. Problem is, it's only a very fine amount of people that are actually able to do that. So breaking that though down into individual stages is again a really good kind of way to do it. But you know,
so with that, I think it's quite technical, isn't it? So you'd want to have someone with you to help. So really you'd want to break it down. It's really technical. But the you know, it's, to be honest with you, anything that's doing something is the best, if that makes sense. It's better than nothing. Excellent. So there's no such thing as a bad workout, because often we hear if you haven't got half an hour, people think, if I've not got an hour, no point in bothering. Absolutely not. So doing something is better than nothing. Yeah. So
I think
if I'm thinking, I planned something for an hour, I've only now got half an hour, just cut it down, do half the amount of sets and reps and things like that. And you're getting really good kind of workout from it. Reduce your rest time, so your recovery rate. You know, there's lots that you can do. But you've got to find what you enjoy, and I think that's the key part of it. If you enjoy it, you'll want to get there. If you know, even if you have a PT or a trainer and they're planned sessions that you don't really enjoy, it'll put you off. It'll put you off going, you won't look forward to it. You've got to want to look forward to it, no matter what it is, whether it's a game of badminton, whether it's a game of rugby, whether it's a gym session, whether it's just going for a walk with the dog, you know, whatever it is, you want to be able to enjoy it.
That's fabulous. So fabulous, Nick.
I just had a question before we move on, just to, because I don't know if Rebecca knows, I've seen it, but Rebecca has asked if we're going to share a list of exercises, and what we can do is I'll make sure I send that Tabata, our own Whitecalm IEP Tabata, out with the email with the link on for the recording of the session later. Sure. As long as you will promise not to laugh at me exercising on video when it goes on the YouTube channel.
You're fit. You're fit.
That's the pack we have, guys. So I will share it, but you're not on when you're watching the video.
I'm actually going to share the screen shortly, so I'll show the other sessions.
Okay, fantastic. So thank you, Nick, for that. Guys, we've got Nick longer, so if you do think of any questions while Teresa's doing the demonstration, do pop them through, and I will pass this over to Teresa now. Thank you.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much, Nick. And I'm really glad that you can stay around, because you might be able to comment on some of the other classes that are running on Whitecalm. I'm going to endeavour to share my screen and show you what's going on the Whitecalm portal. So, being not particularly technical, I hope this is going to work, doing something. So hopefully it's logging in. Great. So here you should be able to see a list of the sessions coming up. This obviously you've got across the top, Monday to Sunday, and they have all sorts of different sessions running, including yoga. So as Nick was saying, it's good to do a range of things for different muscle groups, and also the yoga for relaxation and stress and anxiety, and to combat the DOMS, which is a new word I've learnt today. So I'm very impressed with my fit friend Helen, who knows all about DOMS, and I have no idea about DOMS, but I know what it feels like. So we've got beginner, intermediate and advanced sessions. There is a whole range on the Whitecalm portal. They are running throughout the day, every day. They are interactive, but they are also recorded, so you can do them at any time. I think it's a great opportunity for those people that are not working to a normal timetable, like those people in the health service or in the care workers in the care field, because they can still do some exercises whenever they want to, and it is a fraction of the cost of the gym that I used to belong to. So it's a really impressive portal. Let me see if I can go into another date of the week and show you what's on there. So Tuesday we've got Nick again, metabolic conditioning, fantastic, and that's for intermediates, Nick. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have also some really interesting sessions around hair and skin, which is all part of wellbeing. They have an expert, Daniel Field, who is famous in his field, funnily enough, for being an organic pioneer in the hairdressing world. And he's talking about how to take better care of hair and skin, and also he has expertise around those people that are going through chemo, or people who have gone through chemo and their hair is just starting to grow back. So it's a really wide remit on the Whitecalm portal, and Daniel I can certainly vouch for, because he has been my hairdresser for the last 35 years. Very loyal I am. There are a whole range of postnatal exercises, interactive sleep workshops, yoga. Financial coaching is a new addition to the Whitecalm portfolio. As I say, Rebecca's all about looking at everything that contributes to our well-being and enhances our state of mind, really. So she has she doesn't sit still, and she's always looking for other additions. So this is a resource that has built up now. There is a library of these sessions. You can obviously do the interactive sessions that happen every week, but you can also go back over a library of tape sessions if you wanted to look at what had gone before and have a wider variety. We've got another session with Daniel there. These sessions are really short. If you think, oh, that's in the middle of my day, I can't do that, that's actually a coffee break there, 20 minutes. So everybody's entitled to that. So I think it's still possible if people are interested. And then you've got, you know, lovely wind down yoga at 7 p.m. in the evening. Thursday. Boxercise, again, that was a great introduction to that, Nick. I think I'm going to be tuning into that one, because that really does give you a good workout, and it warms you up very quickly. So, and I think it gets rid of some of your stress. I think I'm going to have a boxing, what do they call it? Those great big things, a punch bag, a boxing punch bag, and I'm going to put Boris's face on it. I think we're all a bit frustrated with how things have gone on over the last 9 months. Fitness and pregnancy, yoga again, all over body workout. Again, that's a lunchtime one. That's only 30 minutes. You can fit that into your day. None of these sessions are so much that you couldn't fit it into your day. And I think that's the beauty of it, because once you get hooked, you won't want to not be doing something because of the endorphins. And I absolutely vouch for that myself. I felt better after that 15 minutes of moving than I have done all day. So again, I think the benefits out there are definitely really important to our life at the moment. So Friday, which used to be my fitness day in the gym, we've got high impact, fit hit at 8 a.m. Again, before people start work. That's quite a long one. Yoga, another hair and skin session, meditation. If you've had a particularly difficult Zoom call or work is particularly stressful, that's 30 minutes that would be taped, and there are sessions online. And we actually had a session a few weeks ago. I don't know how many of you were on that session too, when we went through a meditation exercise, and that was extremely beneficial, I think. So that's all there too. Interactive cancer workshops, again, some of this stuff could be extremely useful for customers. I wouldn't say interpret it for them, but I would certainly say it's worth them having a look at it. And another session with Gabby, which again is a beginner session, and that's lunchtime, half an hour on Friday. So you can see it's really a rich program of all sorts of different things. And you've got your Tabata hit there, Nick, in at 9:30, which is great. 9:30 on a Saturday morning, really wake you up and set you up for the weekend. Do it before breakfast. Not a good idea to do it after breakfast, but do it before breakfast, and it really does wake you up. We have essential oils as well in the morning, interactive, 10-minute session, just looking at which oils can be relaxing for you, which oils can help you sleep, a whole range of things that they cover. Pilates, great one for keeping fit. I've actually in the past myself had sessions of clinical Pilates where they actually use those exercises to cure damage that I've done on other exercise sessions, or running a bit too much, or running downhill, which is never good for you. And postnatal rehab, and then yoga again on Saturday.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Teresa. So as you can all see, there's a really good variety on the Whitecalm website, and as Teresa mentioned, you can do the sessions live. I know that works for a lot of people, knowing that you're meeting a group of people and doing the session live really appeals. But sessions are also recorded, so if you can't make them, you can do them at a time that suits you. I've popped in the chat for you all the details of the discount that you're all entitled to at the moment. As IEP members, you get 3 months of all of this for only £10. So that's in there, and I've popped a link in there so you can have a look and look at some more. It really is a fantastic deal. If, you know, as we've seen the quality of what Nick can take us through and all these other these other areas as well, from financial coaching to the mindfulness. I know if you didn't attend the last session, it is on our YouTube channel. Have a look, because we did a mindfulness activity that was really effective as well, that everyone enjoyed. So thank you so much for that. It's been really good. But we're nearly at the end of our time. We haven't got any more questions come in for you at the moment, Nick. I think people are worried that you're going to make them do another Tabata at the end. They ask a question, but I really enjoyed that. Thank you. And I've popped that Tabata. That will always be the IEP Whitecalm Tabata on into the chat. So thank you very much for today's session. It's been really good. And as I say, my dream has been realised in one of our webinars. We've been able to work out, and there's going to be some more of those in the future for those of us who've joined us today. So thank you very much for that. Teresa, before we let you go and before we let everyone go, I wanted to tell everyone about the programme of events we've got from now until Christmas, just to let people know what's going on. But next week we've got you back again. So rather than me talking about what you're going to deliver, I thought you might tell everyone what they can enjoy if they come and join us on Wednesday next week.
So Wednesday next week, we've got an hour session launching the collaboration research that the IEP have been undertaking to inform DWP, not commissioned by DWP, but certainly with an eye on commissioning and how collaboration is influenced by commissioning. So the report does touch upon that. We did a fantastic survey of our membership. In fact, everybody so very much if they contributed, because it was a huge resource, so interesting, so many fantastic things going on out there. So we share some of those case studies and we share the results of that survey in our report, and we're launching the report. Jo Ingold, Professor Jo Ingold is my colleague who we collaborated on together on this report, and she will be there too. I'm sure Scott will be there, and I think everybody will find it extremely interesting. So do tell your colleagues about it, and do sign up yourselves and come along and have a chat about how collaboration can improve. Really, the bottom line is how collaboration can improve our delivery and how collaboration can improve performance on contracts. That's
and of course, the offshoot of that being that it works for everyone, participants and practitioners, an improved environment for all of us and improved outcomes for us all. So I'm very much looking forward to that. So thank you, Teresa, and we'll look forward to that. The following week, we have our corporate partners, Society Matters, come and join us, and they'll be joining us the 6 elements of universal credit and how a change in circumstances can impact on these. So it's going to be a really interesting one and a really useful one. So the 16th of December, please do join us for that. And then on the 23rd of December, we are going to be here, but we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to have a Christmas gathering. And I would like to invite you all to come and join us. Wear your Christmas jumper if you can, bring a mince pie and a tipple. I'm not going to lie, it's schools will have broken up. I will be working from home that day. I might treat myself to a mulled wine, but you'll find out on the day. We're going to do some interactive stuff, have a bit of fun, but we'll also link it with employability as well. So we'd really like to see you for a bit of a Christmas gathering, if you can. So that's between now and Christmas. We will take a break on the 30th of December, just because I suspect we could all do with a bit of a break for the new year, but we'll be back with a new series of programs in the new year. So that's the plan between now and Christmas. Thank you all again for attending. It's lovely to see you all here. I hope you enjoyed it. Please do keep in touch with me at inquiries@iemployability.org, sorry. And let me know how you're getting on with that Tabata. I'd like everyone to get in touch with me when you next, let me and Teresa know that you're doing it, and we'll get on to Nick. It'll be good to do. Maybe we'll start webinars in future, Teresa, with a quick Tabata at the start.
We should. It just definitely wakes up the mind, doesn't it?
We could, couldn't we? Rather than saying in the chat, what's the weather like where you are, we could have everyone doing 20 seconds of star jumps. We'll see. You never know. But thanks for your time today, everybody. Thank you, Nick. It was really, really good.
Thanks very much, Nick. Yeah.
Very much appreciated.
Good to see you.
I'll see you all on the next session. Thank you.
Thank you, Helen. Take care, everyone.